So iOS 18.2 is right around the corner and we should be getting it sometime in December, and there's a lot of new features coming on the Apple Intelligence front that have been talked about as some of the main features with iOS 18.2. But people are forgetting that 18.2 is supported by iPhones that are not supported by Apple Intelligence, and there's an abundance of awesome features coming to 18.2 that nobody's talking about that will be able to be used by the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, as well as the iPhone 14 lineup and any other iPhone that will support 18.2. So in this video, this is for those people that will not be getting Apple Intelligence, but will still be getting 18.2, and they have something to look forward to. So let's get into some of those non-Apple Intelligence related iOS 18.2 features. Let's get into it. So let's get right into this video, and I do want to start off with some iPhone 16 specific features, more importantly or more specifically with the camera control button. So what we're going to do here is go into the settings, and this is one of my favorite things that I've been wanting since the iPhone announced camera control and its functionality, especially when it comes to that half press. So if we go into the camera section, go into camera control, this is going to be the new autofocus lock. So if you guys have ever used a normal camera and you half press on the shutter button, it'll autofocus on your subject. So to kind of show off what this looks like, let's open up camera control. So now you can see that we do have it open, and if I put my hand here, I can actually soft press here and hold it down, and then you can see that the autofocus lock does turn on up here where it shows the yellow. So that's an example of it using the half press to now lock in on my hand. So now if I go farther away, it's out of focus. If I come closer, it's now back in focus. And then if I let it go, that autofocus will go away and it'll go back to the normal kind of looking to see what to focus on. So I love this feature. I do wish that it did the same thing that some Sony cameras do, where it kind of locks in on a face or locks in on a subject with a little square. But this is a great start. Being able to use this half press and now autofocus is something that I've personally been wanting since the moment I found out about camera control. Another good one with camera control is going to be adjusting the speed of that double click. So if I go back into the camera and you double click here, there's a speed adjustment that you can do because you want to be able to feel this out and double click wherever needed. But now if you go back into your settings, go into accessibility this time, tap into camera control, you can now change that double light press speed right here from default to slow and slower. So if I tap on slower and then open up camera control, it is a little bit slower in what it's recognizing, which is nice to see. So now that we can adjust that, I kind of like it in the default speed, but being able to now do that is going to be nice to have. Now the last camera control related one has to do with the camera control access and being able to open up the camera app with camera control while the screen being off. So if we go into display and brightness, scroll all the way down, you get this new option down here that says camera control, requires screen on. I'm going to leave that toggled off. By default, it will be turned on. That means that if I lock my phone, I can just tap on the camera control and it'll open up the camera application, versus if you keep that turned on, it will not do that for you. So being able to now open up the camera app with camera control without needing the screen to be on, I do like that. The next new feature has to be in the Mail application. Now quick caveat, I am a Gmail application user, so I don't really use the Apple native Mail app, but if you go into Mail, you're going to notice that it looks a little bit different. We now have some new tabs up here, which is primary, then you have transactions, updates, and then finally promotions. So everything's going to get smartly kind of allocated and categorized for you, so it's easier to find what you're looking to find. So if I go on here, this is going to be from people or from things that are a little bit more important for me. Then of course here is going to be more shopping, here is updates, and then lastly, like I mentioned, promotions. The next update is going to be in the Find My app, where you are now able to share items and share AirTags with other people by just sharing it via a link. So this is going to come up whenever you do open up the Find My app for the first time on 18.2. And if you open up the Find My app here, I'll show you how to actually get this done. Go into the Find My app and go to one of those items. As you can see here, I have a few. I'm going to tap on this Nomad card right here. If you scroll down, you can actually press Share Item and Add Person. And then you can go right here and it lets you know exactly what's going on here. And then if you press Continue, it'll send a link via iMessage to whoever you want to send that to, and then they'll be able to see the location of that item. Another awesome new feature coming to 18.2 has to be the ability to record multiple layers directly into the Voice Memos app. And I can see this being very useful for artists and singers and people who just want to kind of toy around and draft up a song that they have. Maybe they have a beat in the back of their mind and then maybe they want to put some voiceover onto it. You can now do that by recording multiple layers in the Voice Memo app, and it's very easy. So if we go into the Voice Memos app, and all you have to do is start up a new one. So as you can see here, we are now recording, saying hello, seeing exactly what's going on. And you might notice there's a new plus button right here that's kind of grayed out. If you pause this and then press that plus button to add a new layer, press this record button again, and I'm talking over it, blah, 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 blah. And then if I go back, that means both of these will now be playing over each other. So we'll press play. So it's a little bit complicated there and kind of ugly to listen to, but you get the idea that you can now layer multiple voices over in a voice memo, which is awesome to see. So a couple of volume settings that I want to show off. If we go into our settings and go back to volume and haptics, or sound and haptics, which is down here, and then you go all the way down, you have the ability to now volume limit your built-in speakers. So if you don't want the volume to go above a certain percentage, so for instance here it's at 60, that means when you do go to full volume, it'll only go to 60% of that volume with the speakers connected to the iPhone as well as the built-in speakers of the iPhone itself. So if you do want to limit it, you can now do that. I don't want to limit it because I don't really care to, but that is an option. And then secondly, if we go back into our settings, but then this time go into accessibility, and then we're going to go into audio and visual, and there's a new option here called always show volume control. So if you tap on this, that means even now in the lock screen, so if I swipe up, lock the phone, you can now change the volume and it'll show up on the lock screen, which is something that was not happening before. So if that's something you do want to do, you can now do that. And then finally, the last major change, which was a welcome addition because honestly this was one of the most annoying things, is that we are now full screening on the images in the Photos application. Before, if you might have noticed with 18.1, it kind of shrinks the image a little bit, and then when you tap in, it'll full screen the image. But now you can see that it's all layered over. So for instance, you can see that it's still a full-size image. The other images are down here overlaid on top of the image, so you can still scroll through and interact with them. But now it's not taking up a small amount of space, because before it would shrink the image to show you all the different settings. But now you can see that it's easy to go full screen and go through all the different settings that come with the Photos application. So I think this is a good quality of life update that Apple wanted to go back to, and that's all the major changes coming to 18.2 that are non-Apple Intelligence related, so definitely get ready for them. So again, I just wanted to make this video so people don't feel forgotten about because, for instance, my younger brother has an iPhone 15 Plus and he has the latest iPhone possible that will not be getting Apple Intelligence, meaning that he doesn't have any Apple Intelligence features to look forward to. But like I mentioned to him, iOS 18.2 still has a bunch of features coming that are not Apple Intelligence related, and I wanted to give him something to be excited about. So that is what this video is for, and hopefully you guys enjoyed, and leave a comment down below what your favorite feature is non-Apple Intelligence related that's coming to your iPhone with 18.2. And then finally, if you did make it to the end of this video, definitely leave a dolphin in the comments down below so I know you made it to the end, and I'll be sure to respond to your comment first. And if you guys want to watch more videos like this one, definitely check out one of these videos right here. And until next time, I'm Fernando, and I'm out of here, everybody. Peace. I, for one, my favorite feature has to be that shutter button. I know it's an iPhone 16 feature, but still my favorite new feature coming to 18.2. Peace.